In today's video, we are going to finish off the Biodome by building the assemblers for our electromagnetic control rods, troubleshoot the whole factory. We ended up needing a lot of troubleshooting, and give a quick factory tour. It's a great feeling when a concept finally comes together, and I hope you are as excited as I am to see the final product. Let's get it done. We're going to put down 23 assemblers worth of electromagnetic control rods right here, and first, I just want to point out something that very much annoys me is that this assembler is just one notch away from being able to be centered on two foundations. You got to pick one side or the other. It drives me nuts, but pick we will. So we'll put it right here and line it up with that back edge of the foundation. Then we're going to knock out a row of 23 assemblers. Got our 23 assemblers in, and since this is our final product, I normally like to keep it a little bit cleaner design wise. So we're going to put in floor holes here. I have a little logistics floor going down here, and we're going to have both of our inputs and our outputs on this floor below, and then just have a nice clean look for all these assemblers on this floor. Oh wow, I just accidentally discovered something I had no clue about when I accidentally clicked my middle mouse button. If you point at something and click your middle mouse button, it gives you that to build. Incredible. I had no idea after playing all this. Why didn't somebody tell me? We have our lifts in, that's looking nice and clean, so let's get our inputs working down underneath. For the inputs for each of these assemblers, we're going to put the first one facing here in the middle like this, and then the second one facing the opposite direction like this. That just makes it easy to feed. We'll have one belt running down this way, and then another belt running down this way, and we'll never have to worry about crossing them or having things be the right height. We have the AI limiters flowing into our machines. We can see down below here through the window that our AI limiters and our quick wire are all firing up again for the first time in a while. So I'll be interested to see how much power this factory uses when I get everything going. I know it uses a lot. I know I have enough, but I'll be interested to see how the curve spikes. And now we have our 135 stators per minute flowing into the machines. We have our output hooked up here. So now we need to get the recipes on the machines and get the power hooked up and start our decoration. Before we get these machines turned on and pumping, I want to get my biodome sorted and just make sure that we have the right look. This used to be flat across here, and what I've done here is open this up and lift up the biodome so we'll be able to see into this sky bridge from down inside. I think I'm going to put some lights along here the entire length of the sky bridge as well, so it should provide a pretty cool look up into here from down there, but we'll see when it's all done. I'm going to get everything hooked up so when we turn on the power for the machines, we'll also turn on the power for the lights and have a grand reveal. So let me get this going. We basically have everything ready to go on the machines, including power and about 1 million lights. But the last thing we need to do to get everything in before we turn it on is get our drone port in. Our drones are heading over. You can actually almost see it. There's an airport over there, a central airport where I bring everything and then distribute it from there. So that's where this drone port will be headed. Let's get it in. We finally come to the moment of truth, when we turn everything on and see if the design works as advertised. So we'll get ready for my favorite part. That's turning on the power and seeing if I screwed up. So let's do it. It's been a long time coming. All these complex systems, all this math comes down to one little wire. Here we go. It's alive. First things first, are we filling up our machines? Okay, we are. Excellent. I'm not surprised that one's a little light because it's the end of a row of 33 assemblers. Excuse me, only 23 assemblers. Give that manifold a little bit of time to run. I wanted to come down here and take a look to see what that looked like with the lights on. I think it looks pretty good. And it'll be interesting to see what this looks like at nighttime with all those green lights on. Well, normally I would check the lights to see if all the machines are working, but it's a little bit difficult with these green lights shining on them. So we're gonna have to go through one by one and check just to make sure all the inputs and outputs are hooked up properly. Amazingly, I hooked up all the splitters, all the mergers, all the lifts correctly on all 23 of these machines. That's like a first for me. So I aced that test, but it looks like we might be slightly light on AI limiters. So let's go check out our AI limiter production just to make sure we're reaching the advertised 90 per minute rate for our electromagnetic control rod. Well, that might be why we're a little bit light. It doesn't look like there's any movement at all whatsoever. So I'm sure there's some sort of belt or lift that I have screwed up, and it is probably right here. No, we have AI limiters going up, so obviously something is going on out there. So let's take a look as I go through my maze of catwalks and gate holes to get out there. Okay, so we are here. Ah, yes. All of that factory stopped. Yeah, that's necessary there. I forgot that I took that out when I put a wall with a conveyor belt hole in there. Beautiful. Let's hook that up. Aha, much better. Okay, now we should see things really get fired up. Whoop. So I've had a lot of problems lately with my hover pack kind of flying off in certain directions. Like, I can't go down right now. All it wants to do is go up. Let's take it off and then put it back on. And something about this area is bugging it out. So it looks like everything's running, and the last step here was to hook up this drone port, and there's another problem. I didn't hook up the power to the drone port. It happens. So let's see. And make sure things are actually flowing into the drone port, which is a no. So let's fix that. First, we'll put the power to the drone port. Voila. So let's go figure out why there are no electromagnetic control rods flowing into our drone port. So all the machines are outputting their electromagnetic control rods, so it must be something going on with the belts underneath. So let's go in down here and check this out. Which I've made this little door down here to our logistics floor. So this merges together on the two sides down here in the middle, and then it goes up here to our drone port. There's electromagnetic control rods here. There are on that lift up there, so it must be something to do with the output on the top. So let's go back up there and check it out. So I think our problem is that I'm putting a floor hole in a roof panel. So I'm just going to switch this out to a glass frame foundation, and then it will work like a charm. And so this is one of those where you just kind of need to go with the flow. And voila, there we go. ECRs flowing into our drone port. Let's go up there and make sure that everything is ready for the drone to take them to our central distribution center. All right, flowing in. The drone is ready. He is ready to go. Doesn't have any batteries, but he's ready to go. Luckily, I brought a couple with me. And so my battery distribution strategy is for my battery plant to bring all the batteries to our airport and then distribute them to all the drones there. They only need batteries on one end, so they get them there and then fly away. The problem is when you build a new drone port, they don't have any batteries, so to get back over there, you need to seed the drone port with batteries from your inventory. So that is what we're gonna do now, and then this guy will take off. So this is gonna take 8 batteries per trip. It's gonna take 2 minutes and 52 seconds for a round trip, and it's gonna use 2.78 batteries per minute. I make 120 batteries per minute for this exact reason. This guy's ready to deliver our first batch of ECRs to our airport. Go on, little buddy. There you go. So we know now this is running at full capacity because we have 100 AI limiters down here, and this is the last machine on a very long 23 assembler manifold, but the AI limiter is coming from that end. So if this is full, that means the factory is full. So great news, the factory is running full bore. Wait a minute. I see some yellow lights. That means on this end, that means we probably have a problem with our stator production at some point. Yes, we are out of stators down here. This one is not overflowing and will probably run out there as well. So let's go take a look at our stators. Probably just forgot to hook up a belt or something somewhere. Definitely stators coming in. It's a matter of whether there's enough or not. Oh, my most popular video, making a lesson on how to make a vertical manifold. And then I forgot to hook up the lifts on the top floor. How about that? There we go. Come on, boys. Let's go. Now we're in business. All right, there we go. We were about 10 stators short there, and that's pretty good reason. So let's check this side and see what the deal is. Yellow lights galore. Something's messed up here. All right, something in our output is stuck on this tower, so let's take a look. Well, there's one reason. That belt's not hooked up. But I don't think that's the problem. That just makes the backup worse. So let's see. Did I never hook up our output to anything? Now that's an issue. See, this is where you run into a little bit of a problem, is when you build a giant factory and then do not hook up the output to anything. A little light on stators, he says. Yeah, quite a bit light on stators because we're not even hooking that up. All right, dummy. How are we gonna get this over here? All right, so I think what we're gonna do is just bring the belt right down here, put down an additional merger right here, and just get on with our day. No need to do anything fancy here, especially at this stage. I'm frankly ready to move on to another factory. So let's get this thing coming in here and not look all wonky. Okay, after numerous false starts and numerous missed belts, I think we should be pretty good now. So let's just make sure. Okay, fine, I'm human. I missed a couple belts. I'm not perfect. I'm close, but I'm not perfect. But we got everything with green lights now. And so let's celebrate by taking a little factory tour. So for our tour, I'm gonna quickly take you through all of the inputs and all of the intermediate products that bring us to our 90 electromagnetic control rods per minute. Almost died. So we have 405 coal per minute, 450 Caterium per minute, 600 copper per minute, 1,305 iron ore per minute, and 450 water per minute. Electromagnetic Control Rods takes two products, AI limiters and stators, and I've split this factory up into two halves. This is generally the AI limiter side, and that is the stator side. So let's take you through what leads up to those AI limiters right up there. So the first thing is this copper alloy ingot right here that's putting out 1,200 copper ingots per minute. And we're using 450 of those copper ingots to make 450 copper sheets per minute here in these 20 or so refineries. And in this dark, dingy hallway, we have our 150 Caterium ingots per minute. And one thing we need is a lot of quick wire, 1,800 quick wire per minute, 3 Mark V belts worth. You can see popping up right there. See a couple yellow lights here. That's because this is actually backed up. I think I made a little extra capacity. So we have our copper sheets from all the way downstairs in the refinery. We have our 1,800 quick wire per minute. Now we need to check out the last ingredient on this side of the factory, AI limiters. And this is 90 AI limiters per minute. Very similar look to our quick wire factory. And we have this little belt balancer that we built to balance across the 3 Mark V belts to make sure all 3 rows of assemblers are getting an even amount of quick wire, outputting 90 AI limiters per minute. Then our 90 AI limiters per minute flow upstairs into our ECR manifold we built earlier in the video. Now you've seen the AI limiter side of the factory. Let's take a look at the stator side of the factory over here. The stators take 2 products, steel pipes and wire. So we have 405 steel pipes per minute in this building here and 1,080 wire per minute in this building here. So let's take a look at their design. Yeah, kind of a big mistake I've discovered here on the tour is that there's only one foundry putting steel ingots up to the level to make steel pipes. So yeah, that's an issue. So let me fix that. Okay, crisis averted. Back to the tour. As I was saying, we have 17 constructors worth of steel pipe manufacturing, but they haven't been getting steel ingots for a while, so they're all yellow. But I'm sure they'll fill up. They're well on their way. We have a pretty cool modular design for this wire. We need 1,080 wire per minute. So we have this separated into 4 modules that make 270 wire per minute. 12 constructors of iron wire and 5 smelters making iron ore for the iron wire. So we have 4 of these modules stacked on each other. The 2 modules going on one Mark V belt and the 2 modules on the top going on the other. Then we have the beautiful stator factory, the twin tower design. The one that I fixed earlier in this video. Remember the one I forgot to hook up the output of one entire tower to our system? This makes 135 stator per minute on 14 floors of 2 assemblers each. Then this all leads up to our 23 assemblers for our 90 electromagnetic control rods per minute, headed out to our airport via drone on this cool sky bridge. So my goal with this factory was to preserve the natural environment and highlight the cool flora and fauna of the area. You know, like a nature preserve where you're belching out smoke in a factory. You know, just like real life. And I think I've accomplished that here. We have the trees down here. The orange trees look really cool with the green. And we have the shadows shining through the roof and the machines kind of like I wanted to from the start of the game. And sometimes clouds pass by like that. It looks very realistic. But I'm really proud of this factory. And I hope you guys like the look of it. I hope it was inspirational for some of your builds. And there's only one thing left to do, and that's to drop off our new electromagnetic control rods we've just made for the first time in our milestone. We need 400 of them for particle enrichment. And I love hitting that big red button. So that means we're halfway to our particle enrichment environment. So let's drop those electromagnetic control rods in. I leave up my humble hub just to remind me from where we came, you know. Been a long trip from this. Let's drop off these electromagnetic control rods, leaving us one step closer to our last milestone. I'll just knock out these cooling system and turbo motor factories real quick. I'm sure it'll take me just a couple of hours. Anyways, be on the lookout for those many hours of construction for those two factories in upcoming videos. So thanks for joining me today, and stay stoked out there.